Hi, this is Jundo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. Well, life is ups and downs, rainy days and sunny days. And the things that we consider to be bad, even true disasters, well, I don't want to say every cloud has a silver lining. Life is complicated. And the things that we think might just be the end of the world usually are just the start of tomorrow, whatever comes next. We had a little reminder of this in a small bundle this week with our cat. I mean, he's just our cat. Just a cat. But he is part of our family. So we were heartbroken when he was hit by a car last week. He somehow stumbled home, one leg shattered, and well, we rushed him to the animal doctor, and the animal doctor said that we may not be able to save him, but he's still here. I wish I could bring him out tonight, but I didn't want to disturb him. He's in a body cast. We got him home. He's in a body cast from the waist down. He's has something to protect his head, but he's okay. His leg, they did some operation to him. They put in some metal rod. I swear there are people in this world who are truly dying for the medical care that our little cat received. I actually considered whether the money would be better spent elsewhere. And I have to confess it was only the look in my son's eyes that made me do the somewhat selfish thing to save our little cat. But anyway, there is much that came out of it too. You know, it is just a little cat. But he taught us a big lesson this week. A tremendous lesson. That cat teaches so much. In one sense, he taught my son a very good lesson about why Mama and Papa are always saying to be careful about cars. I don't think my son will ever forget. And I think the next time we tell him to be a little safer, to not chase a ball into the street, he may remember because of that little cat. Everything has many effects. It is karma, but it functions in ways we can not truly foresee. That cat's injuries let me give this talk today, which might hopefully be helpful to someone. It reminds me of greater lessons of history. I mean, what that little cat, when I'm talking to you, the silly little cat and his silly little lesson, is truly the way that all history has worked for all of us. The events of the past, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, are the only reason you and I are here today. There's a famous book, I think that it's so famous I can't remember the name right now. But it's about even, for example, the Great Black Plague of the 13th century that decimated Europe and caused tremendous suffering, yet was perhaps one of the major causes of the Renaissance. All the discoveries and innovations that came later, leading to the Industrial Revolution, leading to man on the moon. I'm not sure why the world functions in the way it does, why we have to have sad days, why people have to get sick, why they have to die. It's a complicated world. I sometimes look at it as a garden. If flowers did not die, if the garden did not change, if the seasons did not pass, there would be no growth, there would be no birth. We have to grow up. We have to be adult about it and just recognize this fact and let it be. This is a large part of our practice, to allow the world to be the world on its own terms. Sometimes truly sad, terrible, cruel things happen in this life. I think perhaps more and more it's going to be up to us in the future to tend that garden. We are the gardeners of this world. And though it's not all within our control, we can make this world more and more a better place. But yet it is, in the meantime, like that old story, that Chinese story. It's not a Zen story particularly, about the father and the horse and the son with the broken leg. When the prize horse comes and the neighbors say, "Oh, how wonderful," he says, "I wouldn't be so sure. It might not be so wonderful." And sure enough, the horse ran away. And his neighbors said, "How terrible." And he said, "No, I wouldn't be so sure it's so terrible." And then the horse came back with another horse, 2 horses. And then his son rode the horse and broke his leg. And the man said to the neighbors, "Don't be so convinced it's so terrible, for it kept the son out of the army." All our life is a mixed bag. I know it's hard to see that sometimes. We wish it was all candy canes and roses every day. And it's not. Little cats get hit by cars. Little rats and fleas start plagues across Europe. Yet it's still a good and beautiful world, and here we are. The cat is alive. The doctor says 1 inch either way, he would have been gone. If he had to get hit by a car, he got hit right in the right place. Whatever the reason is that there have been terrible things in human history, yet it has led to many beautiful things too. The birth of all our children, all of us, all the gardens we tend. It's a complex world. We just have to let it be. And I don't want to say anything as trite as that every cloud has a silver lining. But it's kind of true. Shall we sit with that?